Okay, hello. Welcome to this little introduction here on the chord exercises in the SEPR, the self-eliminating practice routine. This is where it all starts. So you should do this before you venture into like arpeggios and scales and all the other stuff. Maybe you can do some chromatic exercises as well when you start out, but this is where it starts. This is really important. This is basically the caged system that I have developed in many ways. So this incredible cage system that it really genuinely changed my guitar playing life once I started thinking of it in this way. It sorts out all the chords that you can play on the guitar. It's fantastic. It just sorts that whole way of thinking about it out. You don't memorize a million different chords. You understand how to build them instead, which is, that's what you want, right? I spent years just, remembering exact chords, like an A flat 11 looks like this, etc., etc. You don't need that. You need to understand how to build them, and it starts with these 5 open position major and 5 open position major minor chords rather, and you turn them into bar chord shapes. So in the first step here, we're going to look at the 10 open position chords. You'll know 8 of them probably already, but you probably won't know the last 2. I mean, I definitely didn't. I played for like, oh God, I don't know, a long time, almost 20 years before I found this, and I didn't know them, so chances are you don't either. That's what we do in step 1. We just look at them. It's going to be quite quick. It's going to be very easy to understand. And then in step 2, we turn them into bar chords, and that's when it becomes the cage system, basically. We then, in step 3, we connect these chords. Very important. You need to see the connection between them. And then in step 4, we extend them. So we turn them into minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, and the difficult to live with minor 7 flat 5, which you'll have to practice, but you won't use that often. And then in step 5, we use these extended chords as we play through the cycle of fourth using the closest possible shape. That's kind of to cement all the 7th note chords in your fingers better. Very important step. And then in the final 3 steps, we look at playing the chords as if you harmonize the major scale. It's a very common thing to do. It's where we all start, really. We do it on pen and paper in our theory lesson, and then we don't know what to do with it. But we take the major scale and we take every other note from it, and that's how we create our chords in traditional harmony. So what we do in step 6 then is we play all these chords up and down the major scale in each of the 5 caged positions. So we do that up and down in that step, and then in step 7 we do it in the cycle of fourth and cycle of third. Very important as well. That will almost complete your knowledge of the fretboard in that way with chords. And then in step 8 we do a master exercise where we do basically step 6 and 7 in a row. Now all these, apart from step 1, all these exercises needs to be done in 12 keys. And the idea here is that they're self-eliminating exercises. So once you can do it in 12 keys, and let's say you can do it on a Wednesday in 12 keys, and then on the Thursday you try it again, on the following day that is, and you can do it again. That means you can do it now. You don't have to keep practicing these chords anymore. You have established a connection between what your hand's doing and how you look at it, and the visualization and the muscle memory and all that has been sorted out. And then from there on, it's about using these chords and thinking about them in caged shapes as you play songs. One of the main problems here is that you want to visualize the whole cage shape, but you can't play the entire shape in most of these chords. And even if you can, it's not going to sound that great, because guitar chords sounds best when you play just like 3 strings at the same time. And you might think, well, I play a big G here. That's 6 strings, or at least 5 if I'm muting that one. But most of the time when you play a part, so to speak, you're playing maybe 3 strings and then the bass note, or 3 strings and then those 3 strings. So when we practice these, remember this already now, it's a good idea to practice them in, I like to call this playing in fractions. You play a fraction of the full shape. So that might be something to remember throughout here, that if you're stretching too much, it's not really helping anyway. If you're playing, say this is an E shape here, maybe it's better to play just those 3 strings there, and then those 3, and then those 3, and then, so you divide it up. So you want to visualize the entire cage shape, but you only play a fraction of it. And if we're doing exercise, we're playing more than 3 strings, that is purely to visualize it. When you play it in a song, and with a band, and, with another guitar and stuff, you want to play a small part of this caged shape. So I'll see you in the first step, where we're going to look at the 10 open position chords. You don't want to miss out on that, because you probably don't know how to play an open position C minor. But you'll find out soon. See you in step 1.